My name is Russ Miller. If you guys want to gather in a little bit, it's a little easier to hear. You won't have the Oompa Loompa band jumping off over there and whatnot.
I was thinking the same thing.
Can you hear me okay? All right, good, good. Okay, all right, I know. Turn it up, turn it up. Okay, so I have 3 things to go over with you guys. I'm going to do some playing. I'll demonstrate a few things. First, I want to tell you there's NFUZD Audio, which is an electronic a drum brand. There's a couple setups here that you can see. Obviously, I have a little hybrid setup of things here, but I want to just talk to you about that quickly. Then the Saturn V Tour Edition, which is new from Mapex drums, which is the drum set I'm playing. And then there's 4 new snare drums from the Mapex Design Lab, which is the high-end line for Mapex that's just coming out now. So the first thing coming out of that whole line is these first 4 snare drums. And they're over here on the side. And I'm going to play through all 4 of those snare drums here in this little medley of material so you can hear them. So first, NFUZD Audio. You can see it obviously goes right on the drum kit. That's a unique feature for this system compared to most other ones on the market. So what I like about that is 2 things. First, I'm used to a certain muscle memory, right? When we play the drums, I'm used to a certain spacing and a memory. The problem that I always had before was I would practice and work on things, and then when you go to an electronic kit, my snare drum is now this tiny little Frisbee pad, you know, and the whole kit's like that. So the whole feel is different, the whole muscle memory is different. I love to have it the size of the drums, and there's an 8 through 16 pad, so you can make any setup that you have, you can make your setup with it. It comes on and off the drum so easily that there's times where I literally take it off in the middle of a song. Like the bridge of the song has an electronic sound, you put it on and then take it back off and continue playing again. So it's so easy to get on and off of the drum. There's also these little slim mounts you can see over here on the side. I don't know if you can see it, but that way, if you do want just an electronic pad, you can mount them on that and kind of create an electronic drum set out of it. The bass drum, you can either go on the bass drum or out here to the side, you can see I have a little bass drum tower. Same thing, I can make a little bass drum pad out of it. All the pads, of course, all the pads have multiple zones. So you got your center, you got your edge, you got your cross stick on the snare, you got your bow, you got your edge, your bells on the rides. You can mute them just like a regular cymbal. You got your bow, you got your edge on your hi-hat. There's a lot of sounds you can put anywhere at any time. One of the things about that for me, I think psychologically, you know, I want to have a nice gong bass drum type sound up here. I want to have a big pad to hit that. Like I hate hitting big sounds like that, and I got this tiny little pad. I don't know, psychologically, it doesn't sound as good if I see this tiny little pad. And you know, and vice versa, I don't want to put a shaker on something that big. So it's great to have all those little sizes and put together your kind of custom rig with it. The cowbell pad is dope because it's got 2 zones, a mouth and a shank. You can put regular percussion sounds on it, but you can also fire loops from it. You can start and stop loops. You can go up and down through the kits on there. You can make one zone up and the mouth down. So you can kind of create this custom little setup out of it. One of the things also that's really unique about NFUZD is that it does what's called a batch dump. Now most systems don't do that. Most systems, if you want to bring in a sound, like your own sound, and I do that a lot, I'll do a record with somebody, and then if I have to perform with them live, I might go into the master tapes and pull the hand clap that we use, or pull something that's really derivative to the sound of that piece of music. So I'll go get that one sample and bring it into a module and fire it off. But most modules on the market, you can only do that one sound at a time, like one sound in, put them in the pad, one sound in, put them in the pad. With NFUZD, you can build all the stuff on the computer in the software. It's so much more happening than staring at this tiny little screen on a module. You know, I hate that. You know, I got this tiny little screen, I'm pushing these buttons for hours trying to figure out what to do. You just do it all on the computer, you get it all done, put all your sounds in, and when it's all done, you just hit dump to module. It puts everything in the module, and then you go to the gig. A lot of times with a lot of other modules, you're taking 5,000 sounds to the gig I'm not going to use. I'm not using all these. I just want to use the ones I want to use at the gig. I want them to sound the best and just have those. So that's one of the things that batch dump will do. Obviously, there's tons of stuff I can do with an electronic drum kit and go through everything. The other feature that's really great with this is that you can record everything that you do into a full bandwidth wave. So I have a recording studio on my property that I built years ago, so I do a lot of session work there with acoustic drums. If you don't have something like that and you want to make it a facility, you want to make it something that you can offer to people as a client, you want to record for them, you can use the acoustic drums, put your pads on it so it feels like your kit, put acoustic drum sounds on, and everything that you play through the software records. It just makes a WAV file on your desktop. You can send it off so you can record and do sessions for people in a very inexpensive way. Okay, so I'm not going to get too deep into that because I like playing drums more than talking about electronics. So there's a bunch of electronic stuff up here with NFUZD. You can check that out. They got all kinds of people to answer questions for you. The Saturn V Tour Edition, classic sizes, 7, 10, 8, 12, 14, 24, all those classic sizes that we had. I'm kind of getting classic myself now. I'm feeling more classic every day, so I'm used to those kind of sizes, 12 by 8, 14 by 24s, things like that. It's nice to have those sizes again. Drums got big and boomy there for a little while, but this is a 1622, for example, which I love. I love these finishes. They're all kind of classic finishes, white marine, they got black diamond pearls. So I'm going to play these in 1 second, you get to hear them. Black Panther Design Lab snare drums, there's 4 new drums. There's one that's all mahogany, and it's called the Heartbreaker. It's got that great sort of AC/DC snare drum sound. There's a great drum called an Equinox. It has single flange tubes that are chrome over copper. That's not, you don't really see that very often. They're weighted copper hoops to dry the all maple shell up. And I'm going to play all these so you'll hear them. And another one called the Cherry Bomb, and those are a vintage sounding series that they made. I love vintage sounding drums, but I hate old janky vintage hardware. You know, I got all beautiful Radio Kings and all that kind of stuff, but the throw-offs are all willy-nilly. And, you know, I like to have that sound, so it's nice to have it in a modern drum with modern, you know, strong hardware on it. Okay, so I'm going to play a medley of material, and I'll play through all these snares and let you hear the drums, okay?